Hello, good morning, coaches. Happy Tuesday, come on in. Happy Tuesday, coaches, come on in. We've got a great kind of end of year topic for you today. I'll be talking about the business lessons that I've learned in 2024 and what I'll be doing differently in 2025. So this seems to be a highly requested topic, one of the favorites. So I'm excited to share with you guys, kind of take you behind the curtain and share a little bit more with you guys about what I'm learning. And I think you guys know, as fellow coaches, that when we share our learnings, we can all learn from each other. So with that being said, as I check my mobile device to see who's here, drop into the comments. First off, just let me know who's here. I can't always see who's watching. Drop into the comments. Give me an emoji to let me know you're here with me today. And I'd love to hear, if you're up for sharing, what is a lesson that you learned in your coaching business in 2024? I would love to hear you share with me what is a lesson that you learned in your coaching business in 2024. It's Denise. What's going on, Denise Fahey? Big hugs. So good to see your name there. We got to reconnect ASAP. That makes me so happy. What's up, Amy? Amy Force. So you guys drop into the comments as I'm doing a little tech check here. I would love to hear, what is a lesson that you learned in your coaching business in 2024? Go ahead and drop that into the comments. Also, if you could let me know, I'm assuming you can hear my audio because you're here commenting. What's up, Lori? Good morning, sunshine. Hi, Victoria. What's going on, Mo? All right, I'm just checking my mobile device. Sometimes it's an easier way for me to see who's joining me today. All right, and Amy's currently in the UK. I love it, Amy. She's a world traveler. Okay, good. So think about it, guys. I would really love to hear from you guys too. So it's not just me, the talking head. Share with me. Just think about, I'm not asking what's the biggest lesson you learned in 2024 about your coaching, or your coaching business, but I would just love to hear, let's share with each other. That's how we learn. What is one lesson that you learned, in your coaching or your coaching business in 2024? I'd love to hear. All right, let's get going here. Today's topic, welcome. We're talking about, I'm going to share with you behind the curtains the business lessons that I learned in 2024 and what I will do differently in 2025. My name is Betty Kempa, business coach for coaches, member of the Forbes Coaches Council, IPEC graduate. Do we have any IPECians with us? I know Denise is an IPECian. I know we've got some IPECians here. Drop into the chat at IPEC if you're an IPEC graduate. I've been ranked one of the top coaches in Denver and then again in Tampa by Influence Digest. By the way, if you would like to know more about how to hit one of those rankings, top coach in whatever the biggest city is near you, put top coach in the chat. Put top coach in the chat, and I will reach out to you via DM and share with you, because this is something I do with my clients, right? We do PR and I help them get, rankings and quotes and listed in different materials. So if you, when I kind of rattle off all these things that I've been awarded, I'm happy to share that with you guys too. So if you want to know more about how to get ranked one of the top coaches in the biggest city near you, put top coach in the chat or DM me top coach, and I will connect with you. But you need to watch your DMs, make sure I'm not going to your spam box, and I'm happy to walk you through how you can also get one of those rankings. I was recently ranked as one of the top 10 business coaches to follow in 2024 by Life Coach magazine. That was pretty cool. And I'm the founder of the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy, where we help corporate renegades ditch the 9-to-5, replace their six-figure corporate income, and ultimately repackage their genius into a dream coaching business. All right, as always, if you'd like additional coaching support with your business, check it out. There is a link in the comments that I placed just for you. I'll put it in the chat too in case it got buried. I don't know how, when I add a copy to the video, how it really shows up for y'all, but I'm putting it in the chat. If you have not connected with me yet for a discovery call, please do. And side note, if you've been connecting to Heather Copey, who was on my team and ran this Facebook group and all those good things, I'm going to be your new contact. So I'm getting all up in your grill here in the Build a Six-Figure Coaching Business Facebook group. I'm going to be your go-to gal instead of Heather Copey from now on, and I'm excited for that. So if you have any questions about the Facebook group, if you have any questions about coaching in general, your business, if you're looking for certain trainings, I have a vault of over 100 trainings of free content. I'm your gal. Either post in the Facebook group and tag me or DM me. Reach out to me, okay? I'm making a very concerted effort to connect to as many of you as I can in this group of over 3,500 coaches, I think, at this point. So anywho, if you would like additional coaching support, okay, I just dropped a link in the copy of the post. That's to apply for a discovery call with me. The calls are all with me, which I'm also excited about. Now, on those calls, those are so I can learn more about your business challenges and goals. You can ask me any questions. Ultimately, we can see what type of coaching experience you would be a fit for, right? I would make a recommendation based on our different coaching packages, or maybe something different altogether, maybe a customized solution of where I would recommend you would be the best fit based on what you share with me. And we can kind of go over the options. So a discovery call, you leave with 3 things, okay? So I would write this down so that you remember, what do we do on a discovery call? First, you know, it's going to be me asking you a lot of questions, right? So that I can make a smart recommendation for you. I'll make a recommendation on which of our coaching packages or customized solutions best fits your goals, because every one of you is different. And I'll be honest, if I'm like, I don't think this is the program for you, right? I'm very transparent about that. So you're going to leave knowing, you're going to get out of the gray area. What do I do next, right? You're going to leave with recommendations on next steps. We're going to do a deep dive, and this is an important one, whether you end up coaching with me or not on a discovery call. We are going to do a deep dive to uncover why you have not yet achieved your business goals, right? I don't want to say easily, but I am very easily able to tell through questioning you on certain topics why the goal is here and you are here. There's something in the way, right? I'm able to identify that. So that's the purpose of the discovery call. We go through potential next steps for you to take to achieve those goals. We talk about which of my coaching package solutions might be your best fit based on what you're currently dealing with. And most importantly, you're going to leave on understanding this is the gap between me and my business goals. So it is an application-based process, and the link is below. All right, so, and yeah, as I said, I'm your new contact in place of Heather Copey in the Build a Six-Figure Coaching Business Facebook group. And one of the perks of being in this group is I truly want to have a connect moment with each of you, right? This group is not meant to be kind of a stagnant place where you never actually see the gal who goes live, the person who's running the business. So if you have not had a connect call with me yet, and these are 10 to 15 minute complimentary connect calls, and that's different from a discovery call, right? A connect call is more of a get to know you, right? This is like an introductory, like, okay, welcome to the group. I get to know you, your business's goals and challenges. This is your point to ask me any questions you might have around building your business. And most important, right, on the connect call, this is a quickie, 10 to 20 minutes. I'm going to look at my vault of over 100 pieces of free training content, and I will literally pull a piece from that. Whoop, there goes my water bottle. I will pull a piece from that vault and give it to you based on what you tell me you need help with, okay? So if you're looking for help on a topic that we haven't covered yet, the other cool thing is I might do it for an upcoming Facebook Live. So if it's not in my vault, I might say, oh, Amy wants to learn this. I'm going to do this on an upcoming Facebook Live. So A connect call, please understand, it's 10 to 20 minutes. It's not a sales call. It's a complimentary introductory call to welcome you to our Facebook group so that we can customize the experience for you and get you started right away with some free training. So drop connect in the chat if you have not yet had a connect call with me, and I will reach out to you and we'll set up a connect call between the two of us. Or you can DM me, just Facebook message me, connect. And again, I'll set up some time to connect with you, 10 to 20 minute call. So that'll be a quickie, but with high value, high impact. All right, so those are my announcements. Give me a hashtag live if you're watching the live, so I know who's with me live. Give me a hashtag replay, because I know I get a lot of people watching the replay who are currently at work right now, maybe watching this on silent, but we'll come back later to watch. So give me a hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. And it's time to get started. So this is my year in review, okay? I'm gonna be literally out loud reflecting with you guys lessons I learned in my coaching business in 2024, which of course, this changes. This changes every year, right? The lessons I learn, and it's kind of cool. I think when I'm at the 5-year mark, maybe I've been doing this now almost 8 years, but maybe at like the 5-year mark of doing this particular training, I'll go back and see like my transition over time of years of lessons that I learned and goals that I've achieved. It's kind of cool. So I recommend y'all do this too. And side note, Academy members, people that I've worked with that are in my program or that I've worked with, my alumni. So I'm talking to my alumni here. If you're an alumni, a Betty Kempa alumni, so I'm talking to you, Amy. Who else is here that's an alumni? Anybody here that's an alumni, please make sure you check your email, because I sent out an email to my alumni. We're doing a virtual get together. We're doing a virtual mastermind kind of a round robin. We're going to share our learnings for the year, share our goals for 2025, and reconnect with all the alumni that I've worked with before. So I know my alumni have been begging me for that. So we're going to do a complimentary 90-minute virtual December networking event with each other. And it's going to be based on this topic too, but more of a round robin where we're all sharing. So Amy, make sure you check your email, and anyone else watching who's an alumni, check your email, okay? So that I know if you're coming or not, so you can RSVP me. All right, so today, I want you, and I always tell this to my clients too, think of me as your personal guinea pig, right? That's kind of the beauty of having a coach. And same thing for me. I have 2 coaches right now. I would never be without a coach. That would be very risky in my world. And the cool thing about having a business coach is they are kind of meant to be your guinea pig, in the sense that, you know, I get out there, I test things out, I break things, I make mistakes, and then I share my lessons with you so that you don't have to, okay? You can skip over the potholes by learning from my mistakes. The other point of working with a business coach, right, is I'm going to find the business methods that actually work and then share those goodies too, so you can replicate them. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm going to just dive right in here with lessons I learned this year in my coaching business, lessons I learned this year, and mistakes I made, so you can avoid them, okay? And please, don't make me a talking head. If you have a question, Amy, you just check the email, cool. Oh yeah, you've got a major time difference. All right, well, let me know either way, Amy, if you can join. And even if there's a time difference, we'll find a way to connect, because it's been a minute. I want to connect with all my alumni. All right, so let's get into lessons I learned this year in my coaching business and mistakes I made so you can avoid them. If you have any specific questions on the topic, please be sure to ask as I'm going through here. Okay, I'm just looking at the chat here quick. Let's make sure I'm not frozen. I'm not. Okay, that's good. I like not to be frozen. So Amy says, an exciting shift, Betty. Increased connection here in your free group is so motivating. Yeah, actually, just diving right into it, a shift for 2025 is really going to be me rolling up my sleeves. And both with my clients, of course, and my free Facebook group here, I'm going to be really getting in the mix now. Really getting in the mix. I'm going to be the one. Previously, it was Heather Copey who was in charge of the group and all these things. Now, right, I'm the one who's going to be getting in the mix with the Facebook group, with all of you guys, with any questions you have. You can DM me, you can post in the group. So yeah, Amy's right. Amy caught it. That's going to be a major shift for us in 2025 is, I originally had a team member who was kind of the person in charge of doing all those things. And now I'm taking the reins again because I want to get my boots on the ground and my ear to the ground so I can see and hear what's going on out there and have a closer connection to all of you guys. And that includes my clients too, right? Of course, my clients and I, while we have a lot of different coaches in the success squad in my program, I'm already hopping ahead, but for 2025, one of the things that I constantly hear, whether it's in the free Facebook group or in, my clients that are working with me, my paid clients, is time with me, right? So it's one thing if you have an amazing team and they get time with your team, that's great. But that is one of the biggest things that, I'm hearing and I'm taking into account is people are asking for more time with me, Betty Camp, a business coach. So, 2025 is going to be all about that, and it starts with my clients and having a much, much, much closer connection to my clients, giving them extra ways to get a hold of me, giving them extra ways to connect with me. I've taken over a lot of the calls that I used to have members of my team run for my clients. Now I'm running those calls, right? So I think just Amy pointing that out, I just want to just hop right in and say that is, a major thing that I've been hearing from people, right, is they want time with you, right, with the head coach, with the person who's created the coaching program. The time with you is invaluable. So that's something I learned in 2024 from feedback, right, from all of you. And that's something I'm going to be implementing big time for 2025 is me making connections with the 3,500 coaches in this Facebook group that I started. And of course, my clients first, right? My clients and my alumni, I'm going to be reaching out to them. Again, I mentioned the alumni event. That is something that is new. That's a lesson I learned. So if you're going to write down one lesson for sure, and these are things I've already kind of mentioned, I want you guys to write down, of course, it always starts with your clients. So I want you guys to think about, how much of my time do I spend with my clients? Now, what I don't want you to do is burn out or go over your boundaries or the scope of your work. But I do want you to look for ways to delight and surprise your clients where maybe it was not included in the scope of the work that you would connect with them, send them a Voxer every so often or check up on them every so often or whatever it is. But I want you guys to think about ways to surprise and delight your clients throughout the year. Something maybe they didn't expect. And typically it's just more time with you, right? Maybe you see a client struggling and they join the group program so they don't have one-on-one sessions with you. Like in our group program, we have success coaches who are incredible and we hook our clients up with their success coach. But one of the things I've learned and have been implementing is, listen, if I see a client struggling, I'm pulling up my bootstraps and I'm reaching right out and I'm getting them on a direct Zoom so I can immediately help them, right? So think of ways to surprise and delight your clients, right? That's when I talk about how we have a no-fail policy, meaning if I see them showing up, my clients to do the work, I'm going to show up. So ways to surprise and delight your clients. That's number one. Number two is don't forget about your alumni. Right, Amy? Don't forget about your alumni. I stay connected to my alumni. I talk to them here and there, time to time, but it's been more of a kind of sporadic, kind of like, hey, how are you? I miss you kind of a thing. For 2025, so Amy, good, FYI, I know you have a time difference and we'll figure it out, but for 2025, and we're starting this December, I'm going to have much more alumni scheduled events. So these are complimentary alumni virtual events. So, yes, I've always kept close to my alumni, but I want to take it to the next level, right? Because it's kind of like, it's funny because Ryan is my significant other. We always compare what, he's a strength and conditioning specialist for over 20 years. So he's a coach in the gym, and we compare some of the stuff he does with what I do. And it's like, yes, my clients learn so much when they work with me, and then they spread their wings and fly into the world. But, learning in business never ends, right? Just like no matter what your niche is, if your niche is you're a health coach or a relationship coach, whatever kind of coach you are, leadership coach, it's not like a one and done package means they're never going to need coaching again, right? Quite frankly, we're moving in the direction in the world, in however you want to put it, where more and more leaders really want a coach in their pocket as a consistent force, which is a good thing. So again, I just want you guys to write down alumni, and instead of kind of just sporadically checking in on your alumni, having some kind of scheduled virtual networking get-togethers. Maybe there's a specific topic that you guys cover on each of your networking calls. And I've had plenty of alumni that I've had quite a few alumni who maybe will stop working with me for the time, they finish their contract with me, and then they have something else that they want help with, and then they come back and they end up working with me again. I have quite a few alumni who do that. So I guess the lesson that I learned that I want to also tell you guys is when your client graduates, it's not like goodbye forever, right? And it's not just the sporadic check-in, like how are things going a year later. Really think about how you can create community for your alumni even after they've flown the coop, okay? Because they're going to continue to need support. And quite frankly, a lot of them are going to want to keep working with you, even if they take a year or two off, right? Life keeps happening. So that's just an added value too for your clients, knowing that as an alumni, you're still going to have these planned events for them, etc. Okay, let's talk about other lessons that I learned this year, and I want you guys to learn from me. And I'm just looking at some of my chat here too. Amy Force says, my biggest lesson was not to let off the gas, that I am the only thing in the way. Ooh, Amy Force, a force to be reckoned with. So good. Yeah, and I will say, Amy, to your comment there, consistency is so key. And I'll say that's something that I always knew. Consistency is key. Probably we all kind of know that as coaches, but it's another thing, are we doing it? Are we showing up? When people say showing up, are you consistently sending out the email? Are you consistently posting on social media? Are you consistently outreaching to your ideal client avatars? Are you being consistent with the way that you're doing things and creating value out there in the ether so that your people can find you? So Amy Force, that is a great lesson, and that's one that for me too, and I know life gets in the way sometimes, right? We have health problems or life problems or whatever, and that's okay, right? We can drop the need to be perfect, but to find a way, and there are ways to be consistent without stressing yourself out, right? Like I'm getting back into gear of doing a Monday email. So I do like a top 3 things every Monday, and I send out that email. I used to be super consistent with it. And then as my client base grew, of course, my focus was on my clients, and, the email kind of went to the wayside a little bit. But I got to tell you guys, another thing for you to write down as a big, I don't know if it's a lesson learned or maybe something you want to take into 2025, emails. Write that down, emails. I will tell you what, I think maybe some of you have heard this from me or from other coaches before. But, we take all this time to post on social media. We take all this time to create an audience on social media. But that can be ripped away from us in a heartbeat. Right? People can, you can get blocked. I knew a coach who had a massive following. She's one of my coaches, and she actually got hacked in her social media, and she literally had to start over from scratch. So the lesson learned here is please don't throw out the idea of an email list is like, oh, that's going to come behind social media. The email list actually should come before social media because that is one of the few things that you own. You own that data, that information, that list of clients and not clients, but the list of potential clients and their emails. You own that. Okay, so really important. Do not, I know with all the tech advancement and this and that and chat GPT and things are getting all fancy, the emails, they are still very important. And all of my coaches are telling me this, okay? And I too am seeing this from my end, right? My open rate on email can be up to 40%. Whereas I post on social media, on a good day, could be 10% or less people seeing that post. So I want you to write down email as a focus for 2025, which means you better have a great lead magnet. That lead magnet better be good and it better have a good title. Okay, so people will get on your email list. And then you need, back to the consistency thing. So Amy Forrest, great topic, consistency. You need to be consistent with the emails, right? And it's not all promotional, right? We got to mix that with value, right? So I will tell you, that's a lesson learned for me is getting back to the basics with my emails, being consistent and getting out that Monday email, right? So people get that value right away every Monday. By the way, if you're not on my email list, but you want to be, drop into the chat email, or you can DM me email, and I will get your email from you and put you on my email list for a couple reasons. One, it is chock full of a ton of value. And two, you can see what I do and think about how you want to craft your strategy, right? When you're kind of watching somebody else doing it. Okay, so emails. Another lesson I learned this year. For a very long time, I'll come out and say it. I was rather rigid with the amount of options that I gave people to work with me, right? For a very long time, I had 2 coaching packages. That was it, right? And I had an option where you could work with me one-on-one, or you could work with me in the group capacity. And what I noticed, right, especially this past year, some people, just from a mindset perspective, weren't necessarily ready to put both feet over the line to go all in terms of, joining our academy, right? There was some kind of mindset block of like, ooh, am I ready to go all in? Even if they needed it. So what we did this past year, which is different, I've never done this before, is we created a starter program. So write that down, a starter program, okay? That's not only is it okay to do, it's smart to do, okay? So what's a starter program? So for us, we have a program called the Coaching Business Launchpad. So our big program to transition you from corporate to coach to replace your 6-figure income, that's the academy. But for some people that are like, oh, I'm not sure that I'm ready yet. Can I just dip my toe in the water? We created something called the Coaching Business Launchpad. Now, what's that all about? It gives our clients a head start, right? This is where they get all their ducks in a row so that they are prepared to launch, right? I'm talking about nailing their niche, right? These are all things that will attract clients to you. Their messaging, how are they, some people, right, are not writing copy in a way that's attracting clients to them. Their positioning, their coaching packages, right? We have a corporate to coach section where we talk about what does that transition look like. We have a cash injection section, right, where we talk about how you can get clients before you've even launched your website. So my point is, this starter packet, and by the way, this is not a digital course, right? I am still live working with these people in the Launchpad and they have access to an on-demand learning center that prepares them to launch. Not the entire learning center that comes with the academy, but the first couple modules that will prepare them to launch. So the idea is it's a win-win in that it gives these clients a head start, right? So when a lot of these Launchpad clients will end up later joining the academy. So they come into the academy, they've got a head start, and they can go straight into the actual launch, marketing, attracting clients, sales, etc. So that's a win for your clients, and it's a win for you too, right? Because it's much better to, how do I want to put this? If I'm already working with somebody in my starter program, right, it makes much more sense for that person to transition into working with me in another capacity than somebody I've never talked to before, right? So these are a bunch of people, and you don't have to continue on to the academy, but a lot of people do. So I do think, and this is a change in what I've done in the past, I do think having some kind of a starter program, and I wouldn't do it just my own, this is my consultant hat, just a digital course. I would have for 2025, you guys, you being a part of involvement with your clients or your Facebook group is going to be important, right? So our Launchpad isn't a digital course, it's me, and it's video training, etc. Now, if you want to see how we did that, if you want me to give you our landing page so you can see what that's all about and think about, well, either A, maybe you need our Launchpad, or B, think about, what could a starter program look like for me in my world to get my potential clients ready for my bigger package? You can put Launchpad in the comments, or you can DM me Launchpad if you want me to send you our link so you can see what that's all about. And then I'm just happy to answer any questions about either you joining our Launchpad or just you creating a starter program for yourself. So put Launchpad in the comments if you want me to send you the link so that you can kind of look at that and see what that's all about and ask any questions. Just again, scrolling, trying to keep track of everybody's questions here. Let me scroll. What's up, Michelle Kester? Thanks for watching. Jack, thanks for watching with us. Okay, Amy says, this is so true. I tell people I'm on a midlife crisis budget. I love you, Amy. So I'm accessing support and community at a much lower cost, free. I know how important it is to stay connected, especially now I have a coach community. So yep, I'm just rambling about being glad of this community access. Absolutely, Amy. And right, the other idea of, continued alumni access and you being here, Amy, for you with the budget thing, I think something maybe you and I should talk about at some point is, if you want, is the cash injection, right? You're a world traveler, you're doing all this, but that's the coolest thing is you can coach from anywhere. So if that's what your heart desires, right, you can do a cash injection. I have a workbook I created, 10 steps to book discovery calls. And there's a cash injection element of that. So yeah, Amy, let's talk offline because I want to get you out of the midlife crisis budget and into a place where you're like, yeah, I've got extra money to spend. I'm getting clients while I travel. So we'll talk about that. So, okay, so we're moving from the lesson about, create some kind of a starter program for the people that maybe aren't ready to jump all the way in. As I'm going here, I'm remembering to myself, I needed to tag people on my live. Let me do that. A little late now, but at least the tag is out there to reach whoever it can reach. Okay, what's another learning from 2024? Customized solutions. Write this down. Customized solutions. Write this down. Customized solutions. So here's the idea. While yes, I am a very step-by-step person. Yes, it's very important that people have a signature methodology that they use to get their clients from pain to dream. These are all things that I teach my clients, right? However, especially going into 2025 and just the way the market is shifting, etc. I want you guys to not be afraid of and to lean into, and this is me too, this is a lesson I learned, customized solutions. I used to cringe at that. I was like, oh, like I don't want to have 100 different options for people. I want to have my 2 options. Okay, now I also have a starter package. Great. I don't want a billion other things. So there's a balance I learned that you kind of have to achieve, right? On your website page, I will tell you right now, if you're one of those coaches that has like 8 different options, the potential client is gone because they don't know which option is meant for them. They're like, I don't know. And I want you to write this down. If you confuse them, you lose them. You give them too many options on your website, how would they know? They don't know which option. So I would keep it simple as far as your package options on your website, right? If you go to my website currently, you're going to see the group or the one-on-one, right? BettyKempa.com, the group or the one-on-one. However, right, something that is pretty obvious, I guess, right, is that not everybody fits into a box, do they? Not everybody fits into a box. Some people do need some kind of a customized coaching solution. So what does that mean? Right? That could mean maybe they don't need a full-on, group program, right? Maybe for whatever reason, the one-on-one experience, they don't need 6 months or a year of one-on-one, whatever, right? Maybe they're working on a specific project that they need help with and they want to knock that out. So something that I learned in 2024 is to lean in to the idea of a customized solution. That's why I tell people, book a discovery call. So at minimum, you can have in your brain, here's the type of solution that would work best for me based on what I need to achieve, right? So what's a customized solution example? I'm talking about things like a virtual half a VIP day, right? A virtual VIP day. Now, what do we do during those days? Well, that's where the client comes to me. I ask questions around, what are your challenges? What are your goals? I'll give you an example. Somebody might come to me and say, Betty, I just want to knock out a quarter's worth of social media content. I just want to knock it out. It's kind of like my Achilles heel. I don't want to deal with it. I'm sweating, thinking about posting all the time. I might say, let's book a virtual VIP day. And by the way, I don't sit for 8 hours and look at my clients, right? We'll kind of dice it up into like 2-hour intervals over time. And I'll say, let's workshop. One of my strengths, so you guys got to think about what's your strength. One of my strengths is copy and marketing, right? So I might do a VIP day with somebody and we will knock out either a month's worth of social media content or maybe a quarter's worth of social media content, right? We'll create the social media calendar, and depending how deep they want to go down the rabbit hole, we can create the content. And because that's one of my, my strengths, I will create it with them on the call. It's workshop style. That's the idea of a customized solution. A VIP day is you leave with something done, something that is finished. Maybe you're preparing for a launch. Maybe you're preparing for a masterclass. Maybe you need to set up your outreach system so you can learn how to have consistent outreach. The idea of a customized solution or a VIP day is we're going to workshop style knock this out together. You're going to get all of my time one-on-one, right? I'm probably going to be doing most of the typing, and you're going to leave with something that you're like, oh my gosh, this would have taken me a year to pull together if I would have done it at all. And with this VIP day, Betty and I just knocked it out in one day, right? So that's my lesson learned. It's okay to customize your solution to fit the challenge or the goal of the client, right? Don't try to fit them into a box because that's the package you have. Now, like I said, the key with these extra options, do not list them all out on your website. Too confusing. You list out the 2 main offers on your website, and you can mention, book a call, and I can help you determine if this or a customized option is necessary, right? Because we don't have to have, when we're business owners, we don't have to have these strict boundaries of, I can only offer you this. This is my package, right? It's okay to think, based on what they need, I could pull together this kind of workshop for them, right? Here's another lesson I learned, 2024. High value, when it comes to having a high value coaching experience or coaching package or a high value training, right? Sometimes less is more. This is a lesson I learned in 2024. When it comes to, because I, of course, just like you guys, right? I want to create high value coaching sessions for my clients, high value packages, and high value trainings for you guys in my Facebook group. Sometimes less is more. What do I mean by that? Okay. I'm talking about when it comes to my coaching business, streamlining and simplifying, right? You don't need to have, this is what I learned. You don't need to have a long, I got to have this super long training for it to be valuable. And listen, I'm just be totally honest with you guys. I get so excited about business and marketing. I love this stuff and copy and, all those good things. I could go long, okay? And what I learned is that's not always the most valuable thing for the client, right? What's valuable for the client is simplifying topics. That's a gift for them. One of my other strengths is being a curator. I'm good at going through a lot of information, taking what I think is most important, and then putting it into a little box and showing people, look, these are the most important things when it comes to that topic. So the idea is simplify things for your clients. That's a gift for them. It saves your clients time. It saves them thinking power, right? And that's something that we in 2025 are doing for our clients, right? We used to have a coaching calendar of calls that was like off the book. So I can have a call with this person this day, this person this day, this person. And my clients were like, Betty, we're also working a corporate job. We can't make all those calls, right? It's a lot. And I'm thinking, look at the value. So I figured out a way for 2025 to keep the value. So we're still talking about those topics, but it's not within, all these calls per week that my clients have to attend. I've simplified, I've streamlined so that my clients only have to attend, a couple calls per week, and they still get that value. So just as you're, again, there's a sweet spot when you're creating your package for your clients. If you're like, oh, I'm going to give them all these different bells and whistles, their time is valuable, just as valuable as yours is. So it's your job to streamline and simplify things for them. That is value, okay? It saves them time and thinking power. If you have any questions on that, drop into the chat. Lesson I learned. And I will say this too. This goes for going live as well, right? Sometimes I'm like, I wish I could fly you guys over to Florida and we could just sit here all day talk about business and marketing. I love this stuff. But sometimes, this is what I want you guys to think about in terms of marketing, okay? Because in the perfect world, if I could sprinkle fairy dust on all of you, back to what Amy Force said about consistency, you guys would take one way of providing free content, whether that's live video, whether that's a blog, whether that's a podcast, and you'd be consistent with it. Once a week, same day, same time. We're putting value out there. And then like I do, right? I'm saying, hey, if you want more of my time, right? If you want to take this to the next level, book a call, right? And then I can roll up my sleeves and take things to a more customized level with you. So my point is, if you're thinking, Betty, I don't have time to do a Facebook Live or a LinkedIn Live every week. I don't have time. Y'all, what I'm working on, see the clock, right? I tend to go an hour. I'm working on making these more like 10 to 30 minutes for me. 30 minutes for me would be an improvement, right? For you guys, my, people watching, I would say even a 10-minute video of you just getting to the point is valuable. So that is a lesson in progress. You guys can let me know if I'm starting to do better in 2025. Because although I'm passionate about this topic, right, I'm trying to make these a little bit more to the point so that you're going to literally be watching me learning that lesson in real time in 2025 because your time is valuable and so is mine. What else have I learned? Taking time with health. Now I know that sounds so generic, right? Everybody tells you like self-care and health, et cetera, et cetera. I think some of you know, some of you may not know, I'm a cancer survivor. And I say survivor because I serve every single day, right? It's another day I can chalk up to, being a survivor. And, when you go through something like that, and everybody, I'm not a special unicorn. Everybody's gone through some kind of a probably health thing, or if you haven't, let's keep it that way. But my point is, it really rocked me into understanding that without focusing on my health, I can't help others. You guys have heard of the old airplane, put the mask on yourself first before you can put the mask on anybody else. And what I realized was in 2024, especially the last half of 2024, because for a minute in 2024, I was the health thing, it can kind of be like a roller coaster, right? Especially if you're dealing with cancer or even the aftermath of cancer. And I've really been focused on my health. This last half of 2024, I'm doing underwater physical therapy. My dad he moved 8 minutes away with me, so we've made it fun. We get together and we go to the gym. Ryan shows us different things to do at the gym, etc. And what's so interesting that not only, yes, health comes first, but also I started noticing that by taking time with my health, it actually improved my performance in business. So I'm feeling, I don't know, I feel like I have more energy with my clients. I feel like I have more energy with you guys. I have more energy to get down the high ROI activities. So I know as coaches, we are all very aware about, self-care. That's why we're coaches. We get that. But I'm telling you guys that I actually went through the whole shifting my focus onto health first. And if I'm doing something in business that's affecting my health, something needs to shift because the health comes first. It's actually improved my performance. So just an added bonus of health come first. Amy Force says, I am the biggest self-care advocate. You cannot help others if you're not helping yourself. You really should be filling yourself so full that everyone else gets the overflow. Oh my gosh, I love that, Amy. I'm gonna say that again for the people in the back, that last part. You should be filling yourself so full that everyone else gets the overflow. I love that. I might have to write that down in my list of quotes, quoted by Amy Force. And it's true. Health is so important. So, and one other thing with health too, it's one thing for us to just say, yeah. I'm going to focus on health 2025. Yeah. I've actually time blocked it onto my Acuity calendar that I use for clients to book calls, or, you guys to book a discovery call or a connect call with me. I have time blocked on my calendar the times that I'm going to be, doing some form of physical activity, some kind of exercise or etc. So and write this down. If it isn't on your calendar, it isn't real. If it isn't scheduled, it isn't real. If it isn't time blocked, it isn't real. And then, I'm very lucky to have a partner, Ryan, who can help me with that because that's his field of expertise. And then, my dad and he's like one of my accountability buddies. We're doing this together. So please time block your self-care. Don't just talk about self-care. Thank you, Shaban. Don't just talk about self-care. I want you guys to write down time block health activities. What else do I want to say? Here's something else I learned in 2024 that we're taking with us into 2025. It's okay to reorg how you run your business and start fresh if the current way you're running your business isn't working for you, isn't serving you, okay? We did a reorg. We kind of realigned how our business is running and is set up. We did a major reorg the end of 2024. So coming into 2025, we were streamlined. And, one of the major pieces of that, especially with, me having my health, and my energy and all these good things, I really want to be the one that has more face-to-face time with my clients, with my alumni, and with you guys in the Build a Six-Figure Coaching Business Facebook group. So we have reorged that. Amy, that's what you're doing right now. Cool. Yeah, if you want to talk about that more, Amy, let me know. Maybe that's a topic I could do on a Facebook Live, but let me know. So we did reorganize. We were, 2022, 2023, and then starting 2024, we've been scaling, right? Working our way up towards 1 million. And, we realized this year that the way we set up the business, it wasn't serving our goals. And Shaban hit the nail on the head. Your business needs to fit into your life, not run it. Yes, absolutely. So here's the lesson learned, and I want y'all to take with you. If you set your business up a certain way, even if, like me, I've been running it a certain way for years and years, and you're starting to feel like it's just not serving you or your clients or your, you guys, potential clients, it's not serving you. It's okay to start fresh and do a reorg, right? I do feedback surveys from my clients twice a year, and they let me know if a certain way of doing things that I'm thinking in my head, I'm putting forth all this extra work to give my clients XYZ, and then the clients come back and say, well, actually, we'd rather have ABC. Please don't be static in the way you run your business, right? I always say, our program is dynamic, it's fluid, it's flexible, and we bend to meet the needs of our clients and me, right? And the people who work with my clients, right? So the lesson learned, it's okay to reorg and start fresh, right? I actually feel like a weight has been lifted now that we've done this reorg, and I'm much more close to the actual clients and people in my Facebook group and alumni and all this good stuff. Last lesson I want to share with you, because I know we're coming up upon the hour. You guys may have seen, I've done a lot of workshops, right? I've done, and they're free workshops. Choose your niche workshop. I do a client attraction workshop, and these are free. They're like 7 days, sometimes 9 days, at least 5 days, but they're these major workshops we do that you may or may not know take quite a bit of work on the back end. And I think the big bottom line lesson learned in 2024 is, after you do something in your business, you launch something, you try something, y'all, everything's a test, right? So this is again where I say I'm the guinea pig, so you don't have to go through what I went through. We were what I call launching, we were running these free workshops every other month in 2024, every other month. And I'm telling you, the work on the back end, it was quite a bit. Okay. It was quite a bit. So, we've identified that it's a lot for us, but it's also a lot for you all, right? Because you see me constantly promoting, like, now we got this workshop and now the workshop, it's like, we're always in a workshop. So, we're changing that, right? Next year, we're currently on the calendar. And again, this is fluid dynamic, but currently on the calendar for 2025, we only have 3 free workshops planned. Three, where we had 6 planned, like for 3 years, we've been doing like every other month, a major launch. And next year we're doing 3 free workshops. And the idea here is we want to give you guys and our team and me a little bit time to breathe. Also, after a workshop, the idea is that you guys need some time to implement, right? If we're rolling right into the next workshop, you're like, woo, just got done with this one. So it's meant to give you enough value so that you're not overwhelmed and you have time to implement. So it's okay to pull back a little. Now, does that mean that our sales goals are going to go down? No. If anything, what we're projecting is they're going to go up next year. But that's because we're coming at it from a different angle, right? We're not just going to be launch, 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 launch. There are other ways to hit your sales goals, right? And that's part of what I teach my clients in the academy. I would say, again, all these lessons I learned, these in and of themselves were major wins that we had just by having that awareness. Every time you do something, sit back, reflect. What worked, what didn't work, what's serving me, what's not serving me, what's serving my clients, what's not serving my clients, right? And make the change. Now, you don't want to be doing this 24/7 change, right? You want to try something, test it, let it be, right? Let it be static, and then do a reflection. But again, when clients are working with me, I'm the one out there testing and telling them, hey, this works, this doesn't work. So that's a big one. So there you have it, guys. We're at the hour here, so we're gonna call it lessons learned in 2024. And with those lessons learned, right, that's how I'll be pivoting in 2025. Right? It's going to be less launching, but more of me, both with my clients, my alumni, and my Facebook group. But also, again, there's a sweet spot. Health and self-care has to come first. Time blocking is what is going to be keeping me and this business running. So I cannot tell you enough, and you guys probably heard this before. Time block your calendar. Time block your calendar. I'm telling you guys, I look at each week. I pick my top 3 most important things I need to get done each week. Top 3 most high ROI activities. And I time block time to do them on my calendar. That's how they get done. When I work with my clients, right, that's also what we often do, right? What are the 3 most important things you have to do this week or this month? And then time block it on their calendar, right? So really, if it isn't scheduled, it isn't real. So please do take that away. All right, guys, there you have it. Drop me a comment below. What is your biggest takeaway from today's lesson? What's your biggest takeaway from today's lesson? Drop me a comment below. And reminder, again, if you haven't had it face-to-face with me yet, book that discovery call. If you want additional coaching support, right? There's only so much you can get at this level. If you're ready for me to actually roll up my sleeves and get involved in helping you get your business off the ground and reaching your business goals, please do book the discovery call. So at minimum, I will tell you what I see in the way of you achieving your goals by the process of me asking you questions. I'll tell you what I see. And then I'll go over options with you. So again, if you want to book that discovery call, there's a link to book the discovery call in the chat. And then the other type of way to connect with me is on a connect call. That's a 10 to 20 minute call. And that's where I'm just getting to know who is in my Facebook group with me. I'm learning about you and your business based on what you share. I will pull out of my vault a piece of free training content and give it to you so that it will help you move to the next level with your business. All right, you guys, have a wonderful week. Consistency, Amy, yep, that's me too. So next Tuesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, moving back to consistency. I will see you guys next week, same time, same place. And keep on learning and keep on asking questions. Talk soon.